Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling. My name is BrendenPlayz, and we are just moving along after our TNA Lockdown pay-per-view, and now we start to get into the fun times. We have a few really cool things planned for the show very, very soon. But first, quick little recap of Lockdown, 84 rated show. We had 3 90+ matches. Christian versus Abyss in the steel cage, defending the TNA World title. Christopher Daniels, Fallen Angel, of course, he beat Samoa Joe for the X Division Championship, and we also had AJ beat Loki to make it our third 90 rated match, and somehow we only got 84 rated because we used our pre-show matches just a little bit too long than what we should have paid the price, so that is something we need to remember for later. You see in the bottom right hand of your screen, or I'll pull it up right now. We have a lot of new storylines coming about now, so we're going to try and make things a little bit more sorted. Just sort things out, obviously make it a little bit easier to read and see, so I've tried to kind of sort out our storylines a bit more. You can see everything's kind of labeled by what it is. So the Super X Cup, we're going to be doing the 8 best in the X Division, battling it out in a tournament-style arena, and we'll be seeing who is the best X Division, they name the number 1 contender, and the number 1 contender will get a shot at either Christopher Daniels or Samoa Joe, whoever is the X Division champion at the upcoming Slammiversary pay-per-view. So you might be wondering, why isn't Samoa Joe in this tournament? Well, he's not in it because he's not the champion, and he'll have a rematch at Sacrifice instead, so we'll do a rematch there. So here it is. This is the tournament that we have planned for you. So we're going to kick things off with AJ Styles versus Bryan Danielson, Chris Sabin versus Loki, Kazarian versus Austin Aries, and Homicide versus Kenta. Now, the only kind of change that I was thinking about making is putting Alex Shelley in there. I really wanted to find a spot for Alex Shelley, but we just couldn't. I was going to put Alex Shelley in for Austin Aries, but I really want Austin Aries to be a major part of the X Division going forward, and I see Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin as more of a tag team, and I want to use them as a heel tag team. Chris Sabin still needs to turn heel. He's still a babyface, so we still need to turn him, so that's a plan that we will be doing very, very soon. So I just couldn't find a spot for Shelley. I really wanted to. I put Kenta in instead of Shelley because we need Kenta to have a few big matches to build him up. So that's the thing as well. We need to start building up some of our other guys like Kenta. We just got Tajiri, for example. Some of these other lower end X Division guys need some exposure and need to get a bit of an opportunity. So Kenta and Danielson, I guess, are 2 of those that will get that opportunity. So I think it's pretty good. You can see it's always a heel versus a babyface for the first round, so make sure that we have that good rating. We don't get penalized there, and we'll go from there. So the tournament will start this episode. So we're going to kick things off, and we'll culminate it all at Sacrifice. Now, I think most of the matches we'll do on Impact, and the final of the tournament will take place at Sacrifice. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I mean, Loki and AJ Styles on the same end. That's probably a big semi-final match that could take place. And on the other side of the tournament, you've got Kazarian, Austin Aries. That's a pretty close one. I mean, Kazarian, he's been doing really, really well as of late, so we probably would give him the win. Homicide and Kenta. Well, Homicide just did so well. He saved the day at Lockdown, so I think he probably deserves the win there too. So that might be where we're headed for the first round anyways. But we'll get back into it, and so as you can see, yeah, we've really sorted out our storylines. We've got a lot of storylines right now. You can see down here our Explosion. The ones that say Explosion are obviously matches we want to take place on our minor show. That's the plan there, so we want to have that taking place. Just a few of them that we're kind of throwing together just to give some guys something to do, and I guess a bit of a reminder to myself to use these guys. For example, Alex Skipper and Tanahashi. Kind of put that one together just to give these guys some opportunities to be on the show. And Tanahashi's a guy we really want to build up as well, because we know how good Tanahashi is going to be. So it's important that we start building him up and make him something now while we can. And you can see Machine Guns, Shelley, and Sabin, obviously the plan to do the turn very soon. We've also paired up Kenta and Marufuji as well as the tag team, because they're 80 experience, which means they're going to put on some really good matches, and that's crucial. That's crucial. We really need another top tag team, so we're going to get that out of them. So I'm really happy about that. So that should work out pretty well. A lot of you guys have been bugging me. I've been reading the comments. I have been, and you guys have been wanting me to change the name from TNA of Test and Albert to AT&T, or change Albert's name to change A-Train to Albert. Look, I like the name A-Train. I do. And I like the name TNA. It's a small play on the TNA, obviously. So we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. I know you guys have been complaining. We're going to leave it. So just think of the A and A-Train as Albert, which I'm sure is what it means. So just go with it. Stop worrying about it. It's not a big deal. We're going to use this name going forward. So I apologize if it bugs you, but it's not that big of a deal. And a lot of you guys also been saying as well, A-Train, he needs to start being the guy. We need to start pushing A-Train over Test. And I'm really have been reading that and kind of agreeing. I think Test's performances have been really letting us down. He was not good at the pay-per-view. Yes, he's had decent matches, average of 65, which isn't amazing. Now, he's had some matches in some other promotions, so we'll change that to TNA, an average of 68 instead. And you can see he hasn't even been doing that well. 5 wins, 6 losses. So average of 68. So that's where he's at right now. I mean, that's not terrible. It's not terrible. See, A-Train, you can see the contrast. Average of 73. So that's a pretty big difference for a main event guy. But here's the thing as well. Test has been improving. He has been. We'll take a look at his skills. Now, by the way, I took Fog of War off, which means I can now take a look at all their skills and track their progress better. I think that's a good way, at least for this series, so we can kind of get more of an in-depth look for you guys to see how everyone's going. But you can see Test, you can see at the start of January and compare it to April now, he is improving in some skills, especially here the basics and psychology. Those are 2 major skills that he needs to improve in, and he's done that. His safety as well. So you can see 3 of those skills he's really started to improve a lot in, and that's just from having matches all the time. It is imperative that he does that though. His microphone skills have improved, his charisma's going up as well, so that's very important as well. To make him more of a star, he needs those qualities, so that's good. But honestly, I'm very tempted to send him down to developmental. I really am, but you know, we'll persevere with him. I think we're not going to give him a major push at this moment. We're going to keep him looking good and keep him strong and keep him around that lower end main event. But I think you're probably right. A-Train may be the one we should start to look more at and give him more opportunities and maybe give him more wins and more of a push in comparison to Test, at least for now. At least for now. But A-Train actually has better star quality anyway, so all round he's a much better worker than Test. But I just still feel as though Test has got something to offer, but maybe not yet. And they're both the same age, so Test may be more of a work in progress. Might take him a long time to get to that spot. But a lot of you guys have been wanting to know as well about our developmental, the progress we're making down there. I forgot to kind of show you over the last few episodes what's been going on. So quick little recap. See Monty Brown, he's still the champion down there, the Impact Florida champion. I think I did change the name to Impact IFW. So IFW, I think the titles are still set as IPF. I hated IPF. I didn't like that, so I changed it to IFW. I need to change the titles. We'll do that later. But yeah, so Monty Brown's still the champion down there, and I really want to bring Monty Brown back to the main roster. I think that's a plan that we want to do. Matt Morgan versus Kofi, The Shield. They're doing well. I think they're the tag champs as well. So they're doing quite well. Nakamura's doing okay. So you can see that the overall show is around that high 40 mark. Here's our big event, that the recent, I guess, pay-per-view or major event that they just had. Monty Brown versus Del Sol, aka Kalisto, 66 rated. So that's not doing too bad. Roman Reigns beat Ethan Carter in an absolute stinker. So that's no real surprise. I mean, Roman Reigns, look at this star quality though. Star quality and the sex appeal. The women love him. He has a star quality there, so that's positive signs because his skill set isn't that great. Look at that mic skills. Yeah, definitely earned that 56. He definitely earned that. Just look at the EC3 though. Yeah, 75. So he's not too bad either. So that's where we're at there. So I like being able to look at their skills a little bit better, and we get more of an idea where they're at and what we should be doing. It's a bit. I kind of thought it is a way of slightly cheating, but I think for the purpose of the series, you guys can get a clear cut, better understanding of what is going on, because a lot of you guys are learning the game as you watch. So, but other than that, we've kind of covered everything I wanted to show you. But you see our schedule. Next up is Sacrifice, then it's Slammiversary. Slammiversary is one of our big 3 pay-per-views. We don't have a big 4, just a big 3. Then we have a 3-month gap here until Bound for Glory, and we will be doing a Bound for Glory series. And I've kind of I had picked out the names I want to be in the Bound for Glory series. And I tell you this, it's going to be pretty fun. I think we've got a really good Bound for Glory series planned for you guys, but we need to start getting these storylines sorted out first. And here's the thing. Obviously, Slammiversary is coming up. We want to try and make sure that we save some of our best matches until then. For example, Jeff Jarrett and Sting. We want to try and drag that out till Slammiversary. We probably will do a King of the Mountain match at Slammiversary as well. We do have the, one way, if you want to do a tournament, if you're ever playing TW yourself, you want to do a tournament. For example, you want to have the Royal Rumble, a big match with the winner. Whoever wins it, it's a big moment. It's an iconic moment. For example, King of the Mountain. Make sure you have it set as a tournament and have it as like a championship, like a title, but it's a tournament title. So, for example, King of the Mountain, if we do it every year at Slammiversary, whoever wins the King of the Mountain match will be given the King of the Mountain title in a way, I guess. It's just kind of a way to track who is the winner. Same here for the Bound for Glory series. This way, as we play and progress, we can kind of get a bit of a look at who has won and track that over the time. And the same here for the Super X Cup as well. So tournament titles, very, very important as well. So if you ever play and you're kind of wondering, how do I track that? Tournament title is what you need. But anyways, we've covered everything, and it's time to get ready to go along and start finding out who's going to win this Super X Cup. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. So we have our Explosion show first. We'll go ahead and we'll get this show all booked up, and we'll show you the results. Okay, so we have our show all ready to go. We've kind of centered this one around a little bit with the Super X Cup, a way to kind of, a bit of a pre-show to the Super X Cup, a way just to kind of establish some rivalries before we get to the Super X. So let's get into it. Pre-show match, we had Lance Hoyt and Michael Shane. We had Michael Shane get the victory. Now, Michael Shane has pretty good popularity. I think he's, 57? So he could have been an option for the Super X Cup, but his ring work just isn't good enough in comparison. So we left him out of the cup, but we gave him a pre-show match. So he didn't get exactly left out. He got a pre-show against Hoyt, and we even gave him a win. So we are very nice. Tanahashi and Skipper, we decided to go ahead and do the match here to kick off their rivalry. And wow, they actually have great chemistry. So that was not a bad idea to put these two together. I just did that out of the blue, and we actually picked a pretty good matchup. Tanahashi, 58 performance. So, like I said, Tanahashi needs to improve. Skipper 71, so Skipper's a little unlucky to miss out. It probably hasn't impressed me enough to warrant a spot in the tournament, but that's not a bad effort to start off against Tanahashi and a good way to kick off their rivalry. We had Bryan Danielson cut a promo on AJ Styles just to kind of build up his match against AJ in round 1. Then we had Danielson and Matt Sydal have a match. You can see Bryan Danielson, despite not the best popularity, 75 rated performance. Matt Sydal 64, which is why we went with Danielson instead of Sydal. So Danielson just too far ahead, and that's good signs. I mean, him and AJ could tear the house down. They really could on Impact. We had Jazz and Melissa just continuing their rivalry. They had an argument backstage. Alex Shelley, he had an open challenge to cap off Explosion this week, so he had an open challenge. Obviously, he's pissed off that he didn't get an opportunity to be in the tournament, so he said, you know what? I'm calling out any X Division superstar or wrestler, whatever you want to call him, any X Division guy, and let's have a match. So out comes Marufuji, obviously starting off their rivalry, and Shelley, oh my god, 80 performance. Did we make a mistake? I think we may have. 80 performance and we didn't put him in the tournament. I really think I think that's gonna come back to haunt me. We went with Aries instead of Shelly. I feel like we should have went with Shelly. I know Shelly's better than Aries, but we went with Aries just to kind of get him involved. And he also has another rivalry still existing with R-Truth, so we kind of wanted to do something a little bit there as well, just to kind of get that storyline. So he already has a pre-existing storyline rather. So I kind of went with that instead of Shelly. I'm starting to regret it. I think I should have went with Shelly. 80 performance, Marufuji 70. So Marufuji really good as well. He's not quite on the tournament, but I think that tag match there could be really, really good. So we get the machine guns together against Kenta and Marufuji. So very, very positive. 72 overrated overall show. So that's pretty good. We're happy with that. Now we're gonna have our first couple of matches in the Super X Cup. This should be fun, so let's get into them. Okay, so we have our Impact show ready to go. Let's get into it, shall we? So, pre-show match, we had Tanahashi and Hassan. Muhammad Hassan, 85 rated. Where did this come from? This guy, wow, I tell you what, if he keeps doing that, maybe we do need to give him that top spot. I was kind of considering pushing Hassan down just a little bit for the time being whilst his skills get better, but hey, he might already be good enough. We gave Tanahashi another big match just to get him more involved as well. Jay Lethal and Bobby Roode had a backstage altercation. Jay Lethal was cutting a promo rather, and Bobby Roode interrupted and they had a bit of a scuffle backstage. Our first Super X Cup match, AJ and Danielson, 83 rated match, Styles 81 rated performance. So I thought AJ might be better than that. He held back and penalized for chemistry as well. And Daniel Bryan was actually a bit fatigued. So, okay. So he had a bit of fatigue, probably from working another promotion maybe. I'm not sure. I'm doing a lot of matches lately, but there you go. So 83 rated there, that's pretty good. We're happy with that. Good way to start off the tournament and to also get the storyline a little bit further along as well. Then we had AJ cutting a promo on Fallen Angel, basically saying, hey, you know what? I won my first round match. I'm coming for the championship. And then we had Team 3D versus TNA, the tag team. Pretty good match. 81 rated. Tess, once again, down the bottom. 62 rated performance. He was struggling. He was the weak link. But still, good match. We did that just to have a big tag team match there. And also, because we don't have anything right now for Test and Albert, so it's time we probably shift them more into the tag team division, and we had them come against probably our best team despite not being the tag champs in Team 3D. And we had Scott Steiner on commentary as well, just to advance the Team 3D storyline a little bit further. Alright, so we had Kevin Nash make his debut. It was meant to happen at Lockdown, didn't happen, but he's here now. So, the plan, Jeff Hardy and Kevin Nash is to have a match at Slammiversary. That's the plan, that's the end goal. But I think at Sacrifice, we may do a tag team match with Jeff Jarrett, basically recruiting his friend Kevin Nash. Sting and Jeff Hardy now have been on a team, obviously at Lockdown. So their friendship is now begin to, develop. So we might do that tag team. So Jeff Jarrett and Kevin Nash, they had a bit of a talk show segment. Sting and Jeff Hardy came out to confront them. They had a big argument. And they had a bit of a brawl as well. 90 rated segment. Kevin Nash's new gimmick is not amazing. I gave him the outsider gimmick because that's what he is. He's an outsider. So I thought that would work. Here's some good news though. Jeff Hardy invented a new catchphrase that will boost his ability on the mic. God knows he needs it because I think his mic ability is in the 50s or something. It's not good. Not the best. So good segment there though. We had another women's match. We had a knockouts match. We had Molly Holly and Jazz. And we had Melissa interfere to advance that storyline. Our women are so bad right now, but we need to just slowly improve them. It's going to take a long time, but we'll get there. Molly Holly losing to Gail Kim didn't help her, so we need to kind of give her a win just to, improve her a little bit, get her back to being one of our top women in the division. James Storm and Billy Gunn had a match, just an average 74 rated match. It's pretty good. Happy with that. We had Fallen Angel and Samoa Joe going back and forth. So basically, the brand new champion, Fallen Angel, he came to the ring. He's celebrating. He just won the X Division Championship. Samoa Joe comes out and challenges him to a rematch. And Fallen Angel does accept. So setting up for their match at Sacrifice. 84 rated, pretty good. And we had Low Key cutting a promo on Chris Sabin. Now, Low Key's not a great promo cutter, but, you know, we went with it anyways. And our main event, and it didn't end up being as good as I thought it could be. Low Key and Chris Sabin. So there you go. It didn't end up being as good as we wanted. But 76 rated for our other Super X Cup match. So the first side of the first round of the tournament is now done, of the quarterfinals, I guess you could say. It's done. Chris Sabin's done slowly building up to a heel turn, even though he's better as a babyface. Alex Shelley is much better as a heel, so it's hard to kind of, you know, gauge where should we go there, but we went with the turn for Sabin. But yeah, not the best match, so it's going to mean that our overall show isn't amazing. 79, that's still good, it's still good, but I want to try and consistently get that 85 region, but there you go. So that's that. So this is where we're at now for the Super X Cup. So AJ Styles has advanced, Low Key's advanced, now setting up for a big showdown between AJ and Low Key in the semi-finals. Next Impact will have Gazarian and Aries, Homicide and Kenta, and then that'll set up the other semi-final match. So not too bad, not too bad. A good way to start the tournament off, but I guess our first round matches are expected to be a bit lower. The popularity of the guy, our best guys aren't versing there's a lot of people in this tournament that don't have the best popularity right now, despite having good ring work. But our semi-finals and then eventually our finals should be much better. But you know, we can't complain. We can't complain. That's a pretty good start to the tournament. Let's check out all the other news. All right, so we have tried to make a few new arrangements. Now, looking at my roster, I've decided I really need to get some managers in because our promo ability in a lot of guys is not great, certainly in the X division, so we need some managers. So I tried to get Roddy Piper, that didn't work, we'll get to that in a moment. I'm trying to get Dusty Rhodes in. I think he's got 90 mic skills or something, so that's fantastic, so I'd love to get him in. Sabu, we're trying to get him to a written deal. We've decided we're going to keep Sabu. So we try to get Roddy Piper, but he said he has no desire to leave WWE, which would happen considering we're currently in a war with WWE, which means anyone who works for WWE cannot work for TNA and vice versa, even on a pay-per-appearance deal. So Piper does not want to leave WWE, so that sucks. And he's got really good mic ability, so that's a big loss. 2.8 rating for Impact. 2.8. Whoa. Well, wait a sec. That's big. That's really big. I think that's huge. Why have we got a massive rating? I'm confused. Okay, we signed a new TV deal that I've forgotten about or something. I don't know, but wow. Okay, that's really big. So you can see. Let's have a look at our. No, I don't know. I don't think we've done anything really that different. I mean, maybe this TV deal has now kicked in, the Central Europe TV deal, which is possible. It looks like it. I don't know. But what I do know is we went from a 1.99 to a 2.8. So that's ridiculous. And it wasn't even the best show. So I think we must have had a new TV deal kick in, surely, because otherwise that's freaking awesome. But yeah, look, our size is improving, so our TV ratings should start getting better. A lot of you guys as well were mentioning to me that I need to start doing some shows overseas. I definitely agree. You guys were saying, do some house shows overseas. But you can't actually do house shows. From what I understand, you can't pick where you want your actual house shows to go. These shows here. But I think you guys are kind of telling me, all right, why don't you just make an event that doesn't really mean much. You don't have to really show it. Just make some extra events that you do overseas. And we definitely could do that. I think it'd be good. Eventually, I would like to probably separate Explosion and do that on a different day to Impact, and then start using Explosion to go and maybe send that overseas as a way to do that. But yeah, definitely would like to do it, especially Japan. Japan's such a huge market. It'd be very, very good if we had a good, strong standing in Japan, because right now we have nothing. It's non-existent right now. Quick look at our top 5. You can see A-Train's now moved into the top 5. Muhammad Hassan's gone up a spot as well into number 4. So Jeff Hardy's not in there. That's a notable exclusion. But yeah, look, everything's going really, really well. I mean, like I said, A-Train's really on the improve. AJ Styles, where is he at right now? 70, so he's very close to bumping into the main event. And I think, AJ might be a guy that we might start to dip away from the X Division soon. Certainly Samoa Joe is one that we want, although he has dropped down a little bit, considering he lost to Daniels. But he's one guy definitely we would like to do something there as well with. Jeff Hardy's still doing good. How did the Kevin Nash thing go down? His popularity is still the same, which is good. He's currently used as a color commentator, and his commentaries fantastic, 92. So I think we actually put him as color commentator, for that show. I don't know if he was used on every match, but certainly the last couple matches he was. So we've only got him for 4 more days, so 4 more appearances he's got left. But we can always get him for more. We can always use him more, pretty much as we want, as long as we keep sending someone over there for him. As we don't want to make the same mistake. We don't want to send anyone that we want badly. And it's quite possible that he may not even be available for Sacrifice. Knowing New Japan, they might have a show on. So let's quickly have a look. So not sure. That's a Tuesday. So where's the Saturday? Saturday, Sunday. So he has no bookings on Sunday when Sacrifice is on, just for us. So that's good news. That's good news. So he'll be okay. He'll be okay for right now, unless something changes. He'll be okay to appear on the pay-per-view, have a match. So we might save his in-ring debut until the pay-per-view. I was tempted to do just an Impact match, but we might save that for down the line. Quick look at our developmental again. Now, obviously, we can have a bit more of a better look at some of our developmental guys and see where they're at right now. A lot of you guys have just been begging me, Brendan, Kenny Omega, he's the man, you got to use him, You see, his stats are not bad. They're not bad, they're nothing special yet. I mean, his mic and charisma is okay, star quality's okay. His in-ring work needs some work. He does need a lot more improving before we even think about using him, but definitely you guys have been begging me to use him, and he might be a guy that we might think about putting in the X Division or something like that, maybe. We'll see. Nakamura, you can see his in-ring work, and it's fantastic at the moment. That is really, really good. And his mic skills are the issue. Star quality is not even that great, only 75, but he's really good. And he's still, I think, the global champ, and he'll have a big impact at some point, no pun intended, at some point. And another guy I want to look at was Seth Rollins, see where he's at. And he's pretty average, around about, some things are in the 70s, a couple things in the 80s, but mainly quite low. You can see star quality is very, very low. But he's only in his rookie year, so he has a long way to go. And there's no real rush. There's no real rush at the end of the day. I know a lot of you guys go, oh man, I love Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, he's fantastic. I'd love to see him on. Definitely. But you got to remember, and here's a big thing for a lot of people kind of commenting and saying, why don't you bring this guy in, this guy in? You got to remember this is 2006. So a lot of these guys that you like right now in 2017 are either brand new or weren't that great in 2006. So you kind of got to put yourself in the shoes of, all right, yourself as a fan in 2006. Who were you? Who were some of your favorites? Who did you like back then, rather than 2017? So just kind of step back a little bit and think about that before you kind of beg me, oh man, bring in this guy. Some of you guys have been asking me to bring in people who haven't even debuted yet. So yeah, you just got to kind of remember that. Just another quick look. There's really not much else, anyone else who's got some good popularity on the market right now. Like I said, would love to perhaps bring in someone with some good mic skills. Another manager would be really handy. Scott Hall, maybe, look, he's a little bit older than what we would want, but he's someone, like, I still feel like he could do something despite the alcohol issues. Probably is going to be his downfall. X-Pac as well. He's a lightweight, could be X Division guy, pretty decent in the ring. So yeah, look, he's not bad. I still can't negotiate with some of these big names, Jericho and Lesnar. I still can't do anything with them. Hogan still won't talk to me. So they're off the table. The one guy we did think about bringing in was Rikishi, and I'm still a little bit hesitant to bring him in. Has he had a match yet? He has had a match. It was a 55 rated match, so take that with what you will, but that was not the best. So that's where we're at with our signings. We'll have a advance another day or so. We'll kind of take a quick look at some of the news before we wrap this episode up. But really started to get our X Division sorted out. We've got a lot of guys now in the division. I might even show you guys who is currently in the division, who we have set to be in the division. But I'll show you guys the recent episode of Impact Florida. We had Monty Brown defeat Nakamura to retain the championship down there. 57 rated match up there. Monty Brown, I tell you what, he's got to be getting ready to move up. He's really been improving. Have a look at his stats here. Some things he's not really doing much improving in, like for example brawling and hardcore, but some of these lower stats he's improving. For example, his aerial went from 9 to 15, his Peruso went to 6 to 12, so that's fine, that's absolutely fine, and we can keep working with that. Some other things, his performance, some of his basics are improving, that's really crucial. His psychology is improving. These I think are probably the key factors right now for his development, and that's really good that he's improving on those stats, which is why he's still down there. And he's got really good charisma, 88 charisma, so that goes to show that once we get him, he has the ability to really be a star, 80 star power as well. So he's someone who can be very, very helpful and very, very handy for us at some point. He's only 4-year pro, so he is 35, which is the issue. But, we're not going to be playing 20 years, so we can still get the most out of him pretty soon. And, not much else there. DDP had a match with Rollins. You can see DDP, he's still going, even though he's 49. And he's always an option we can bring in at some point as well. And this guy, good old, what is that, Connor from the Ascension, that we didn't even sign. He's the champion down there. He's got the TV title. Okay, whatever. But anyways, yeah, so that's where we're at there. And we'll kind of show you guys where we're at. We're still number 4 at the moment, despite us doing quite well. Japan up number 2, so we're doing number 4. It's pretty good. We're growing. We're improving. We've got another couple weeks until we advance to a new month, and obviously a few things happen in the new months, of course. But that's pretty much all we have to say. Take a look at WWE's developmental just to get a bit of a comparison. So OVW, as you see, they had a 42 rated show, not bad. You see the Miz is down there versus what's that? Vladimir Kozlov. That's the guy. So he's in developmental. He was a big bust, but yeah. So you just go have a look at where they're at, and kind of get a bit of a gauge of comparing our developmental to theirs. Ours is a little bit better at the moment, which is good. But they get a bit more of a better audience. But it kind of goes to show how bright our future is compared to theirs in a little bit of a way. I don't know, maybe, but I'm just kind of clutching at straws here. But anyways, that's all we have time for this episode of TW16. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on it. Subscribe to see more. A few more episodes until we get to Sacrifice. We wrap up the Super X Cup. And then we begin the build to Slammiversary, our King of the Mountain match there. That's going to be pretty cool. Slammiversary is always going to be a big show, so we're going to stack the deck for that. So lots of good things coming. So stick around for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.